So this question starts off by providing us with this quadratic equation here. The question goes on to say the solutions to the quadratic equation above are a and b. What is the value of a plus b? All right, so a little bit of a tricky choice of variables here because a quadratic equation is typically written as ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, which for us would mean that a equals 3, b equals 1, because there's no coefficient here, which means it must be 1, and c equals -2. But this a and b are not the same as this a and b, right? Because we're told that the solutions are a and b. So whenever I'm trying to find the solution to a quadratic equation, there's two real methods that I can use, but I always opt for using the quadratic formula, which is x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I'm going to use that in this case. So I'm going to plug in my a, b, and c into this formula. So -b will become -1 plus or minus the square root. B squared, 1 squared is just 1, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is -2, all over 2 times a being 3. So to continue on with this equation, to continue on with simplifying this equation, I have -1 plus or minus the square root. So -4 times +3 is -12, times -2 is +24, plus the 1 that I have there already makes me have a 25 under the radical here. 2 times 3 is 6. To move on with this, I have -1 plus or minus 5, because that's the square root of 25, all over 6. And therefore here finally come my two solutions, one of which will be a, and one of which will be b. The first is -1 plus 5 over 6. -1 plus 5 is 4, so this becomes 4 over 6, which can reduce down to 2 over 3. So there's one of my answers. That's my A, I'll call it. And for B, it will be -1 minus 5 over 6. -1 minus 5 is -6. So I have -6 over 6, which is the same as just -1. So there's my other solution. So here, my A is 2/3, and my B is equal to -1. The question asks for A plus B, so it'll be 2/3 plus -1, which of course is just the same as 2/3 minus 1. In order to add this, I want to have a common denominator, so I'm going to treat this -1 as 1 over 1, but then I'm going to also multiply the top and bottom by 3 so that I have a common denominator, and therefore this turns into 2/3 minus 3/3, which is equal to -1/3. So the answer to this question is choice B.